So the general theme here is to do qualitative thematic analysis, but we also have a discussion chapter draft, and I can also help with PowerPoint at the end for your whole for your whole dissertation or for your study. So we're really helping to flesh out this whole chapter 4, 5, and PowerPoint. But at the moment, let's just stick right to the qualitative tool and keep going here. And okay. So I just want to make a quick comment about how data is inputted. For sure, data can be inputted, um, per interview. So I have 10 participants, I have 10 interviews, semi-structured interviews, and I can open up each of those 10, okay? So, and you can certainly do that. But just know that there's other ways to curate that data, particularly when you're using either manual or certainly the AI portions of it, that perhaps you want to really focus only your excerpts and codes and themes to particular research questions or interview questions. You can, let's just say there was two research questions, and the first half of the interview dealt with the first research question, and the second half of the interview dealt with the second research question, and you had 10 participants, you can curate and make 10 separate files for the first research question, okay, and then arrange to have another 10 set of interviews, responses for the second research question. So just know that you don't have to just necessarily put them in as you have them. Okay. The intent is, when I did a thematic analysis in my dissertation, it really took a year. Okay. It took a year with several other researchers at my kitchen table going through transcripts. They happen to be psychotherapy transcripts. And it took a long, long time. In Intellectus Qualitative, you can certainly do that manual process, but we do have several AI processes to help excerpt, to help code, to help collapse those codes into themes, and then to tie those themes to your research questions. There's also an integrated reliability piece. Should you want to see that, we could talk about that. So there's a lot of time saving to be had in using the AI. As with all AI, you must, vet everything. When I help students, I can help bang out a draft of a results chapter very quickly, like in an hour. Um, but then they have to do the hard work, right? Which excerpts are really resonate with that theme? What is the naming of that theme? What is the description of that theme? Which theme should we keep? So there's a lot of other, really kind of expertise that's needed with that. So AI can definitely get the ball rolling in a significant fashion, but you still need to be doing a heck of a lot of work with every piece of it. So just to know that, okay? So it's not a total silver bullet, but it's certainly a great tool as you'll see. Okay, I want to talk about the process of inductive coding first. And in inductive coding, this is when I do not have any a priori themes. I have the interviews, I've not excerpted, and I've not developed any code. So in this process, once you upload your data, the tool can also transcribe audio or video. For sure, you'll have had to have read, I mean, most people doing this have actually did the interviews, but you'll still have to really read and reread them. You really just want that fluidity with the material. At that point, there is this inductive auto coding, and that process is excerpting important passages, combining similar excerpts together, and then developing a code name and code description. Sometimes there's 4 of them, sometimes there's 54 of them. So, depend upon how rich your data is. At that point, there's really a refining process. You really only want to keep the excerpts that are important, and you want to look at those codes and code descriptions to make sure that there's some good representation across your participants. The next part is this generating the themes using the auto-thematizing process. Here, there's a few things going on. One is when you have a set of codes, say 20 of them, okay, how many themes can really well represent those 20 codes? So it will first discern how many themes there should be, and then tie those set of codes to each theme, and then develop a theme name and theme description. And you can, again, add your own themes as well manually, or get some kind of hybrid AI support. For sure, after the thematizing process happens, you need to vet those themes. Similar kind of analysis as with the codes, which is, do these themes make sense? The name, the description, is a good representation across participants. The next really kind of essential step is the conducting of the research question theme alignment. It occurred to us somewhere along the line, we're just not doing the research for the fun of it, but in fact, we have study aims or research questions that we're looking to address. Well, we have a process of aligning your themes, okay, with those research questions, and then providing an AI rationale for that. Of course, that needs to be looked at as well, but just to know that we're kind of really finishing that tennis swing there. And then there's the downloading of your analysis, which is in a Word document that's all editable. Okay. There's also a deductive process where you can upload your own codes, and then the tool can go out and find particular passages and excerpt them and tie them to your a priori codes. Okay. And then I think with those kind of introductory comments, let's go ahead and get logged in. Okay. And I will come over here and get logged in. So yeah, I see, yes, we are recording, and everyone will get this after the fact. I know I kind of speak kind of rapidly, but try not to, but I do. Okay. So first thing you'll note is that these are all web-based tools. So there's no updating and things of that sort. Once you have you're at this screen here, you can go ahead and create a project. And at this point, you can go to new project and then just name the project. Okay. Okay. December 12, 11. Okay. So this is new. So what we're requesting is that if you have research questions, to add those research questions here, and ditto. Hey, wait a second here. Let me go back here. Okay, try this again. So demo, okay, so research questions are done. And then fill out your methodology description, purpose statement, theoretical framework, and participants. So that's going to be used in the discussion draft section. And then go ahead and create that project. At this point, you can really upload text files here, audio or video files. I'm not quite sure what's all supported here. Well, maybe we could find that from the FAQ and throw that into the chat. Or you can just paste a document in here, okay? A Word document, or just start typing. Okay. Okay. So that's how we create a project, and that's how we get data in. The okay. If at some point you say, well, wait a second, I didn't have all the information available to me, you can go to the three dots here and go to update, and you can then update those aspects. Okay. So just to know that that's happening here under those three dots. And let's just go to this. Okay, and let's just start afresh here. So let me just delete off of here. Okay, so here I've uploaded sets of transcripts, and let's just go through the AI process for a moment. So under the AI tools, you can go to inductive coding, which is identifying the codes and the excerpts. This does take a few minutes, but it's not linear. So really, I mean, we've done, 500 pages in a sitting. So you can upload quite a few interviews, and it will kind of start chewing through those. No doubt, much faster than individual um, reading through and excerpting. So again, the process is now deciding on important passages, combining similar important passages, and then going ahead and developing a code name and code description. Okay, so it's identified 125 excerpts throughout all of these interviews, which and created 9 codes. So let's just go ahead and apply those to the project. So here you can see our codes here. This is the part that you'll want to vet. So when you go into the 3 dots into the details, you can see the suggested code name, the suggested code description, pretty lengthy, and then the supporting excerpts. Okay. So that's step 1. You have code names, code descriptions, and then number of excerpts is the number inside of each of those. You can then go through the thematizing process. And again, here is trying to figure out first how many themes there should be. So it's identified 4 themes. You can up and down that number, okay, over here. But this is the AI's take on it, is to have just 4 different themes. I can apply that to the project. So what you have here, let's just take this theme. So here we have a theme name, navigating the support gap in educational transitions. We have that theme description. You can see that there are 2 codes associated with that theme, and then the supporting excerpts. I'll take a quick sidebar just to say that you can have added codes manually by putting in the code name and description. And you'll see it down here. And you could have a manual theme description. Okay. Once you have a code, a manual code name and description, you can go ahead and select a particular passage as you're going through it. Just click the plus bar and it adds that code. Okay. Adds that excerpt to that code. And then you can go and um, drag that code into that theme that you created as well. So just to show you that there's a manual process to be had there. Okay, so now we have codes, themes, and excerpts, either via AI or via a manual process. The next step is really I like to go to the insights document. And let me go ahead and clear this out. So I like to go to the bar chart. And so under the bar chart, this is for the themes, which to me, at the end of the day, I want themes and excerpts. I don't really care about the codes. Other people really do care about the codes and really want excerpts to codes, codes to themes. That's fine. Some people want yet another layer. They want excerpts, codes, sub-themes, and themes. And I'll just transition back to the transcripts um, tab just to share that you can drag these things around. Okay, so you can drag a theme into another theme and have a sub theme. Okay, or subordinate theme. So just to know that that's available. So with regard to the themes that we have, there's the 4 themes here. Here are our participants sitting over here. Okay, and what you want is 2 things, in my opinion. One is you want good representation for this theme. You want good representation across the theme. So here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, you have 11 participants contributed to that theme. Awesome. Additionally, you have folks that are contributing several excerpts. So participant number 16 has contributed 6 excerpts here. Participant number, 10 has contributed 8 excerpts and so forth. So you have both good representation across participants and several examples per participant. Okay. Here, I still not as perhaps as wonderful as this first one, but still darn good. Okay. You have somewhere in this, whatever this is, 14 excerpts and several examples of participants. Okay. So these are all good. Sometimes when you have this one last theme over here, you have one participant with 2 excerpts, that doesn't really feel like that's a representative. Okay. The next thing I do after the visualizing, and that's really used to, by the way, so that is used if I wanted to dump that. So then I'm going to get rid of that navigating diverse learning needs. So I'm using the bar chart. Then I would go from the insights back to the transcripts and perhaps dump that theme if I didn't want it. So I kind of want to use the bar chart to clean up. Okay. All right. Back to the insights tab. So the next step we really do is to tie the research questions to those themes. So here, I just have one research question, fine. You can have, as many as you'd like. Whether you have one question or 3 questions, whatever it is, I tie all of the themes to each research question. So I'm tying each of the 4 themes to that research question. Okay. So what I have is research question rationale. I have my single research question, and then here's the research question. Here is the first theme, navigating the support gaps. Now, this is a rationale for why this theme goes with that research question. Here is a second theme, and here is the rationale why that second theme goes with that research question, and so forth. Okay. And I would do that for each and every, if there were other questions, I would take the second question. I would tie it to each theme and so forth. So I would have as many rationales. Well, I would have as many research questions there are. I would again tie each research question to each theme. I think I have a let me see if I can do this here. I think I have a student. Let me just go here. Sorry. So, so step one in this process is really, let me make this a little bit bigger. Step one in this process is tying for research question one, tying every theme to it. For research question two, I would also be tying theme 1 to 7 through it. Research question 3, ditto. Then what I wanted to try to exemplify here is that I only want unique themes to go with research questions. So in this example here, I didn't really flesh this out too well here, that I just wanted to show that I wanted to only keep themes 1 through 3 to go with research question 1. I only wanted themes 4 and 5 to go with RQ2, and themes 6 and 7 to go with RQ3. So I want those themes to be uniquely tied to a research question. And I could have just done this. Okay. Hopefully is that clear enough? Melissa, do I need to go through that again or no?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. All right. The next step is to drill into the different themes, okay? And here, for each of the 4 themes, I like to check every excerpt, okay? It's a better place to do it. So for each theme, I'm selecting all the excerpts, and I'm doing that for the second theme, check all. The third, check all. And then the fourth theme, check all. Okay, so now for each one of these things, and Melissa, we really do need to be able to click on here and go right to it. All right. So here's theme description. Okay. So here's my first theme. I don't think it's my first theme though. Maybe it is. Okay. So theme description for systematic barriers. Here is my theme. Here is my description of my theme. And then here are all the excerpts that go with it. I suggest downloading this entire document and start nixing the excerpts that are less relevant to that theme. Ideally, you want different participants. You don't want all participant 21 to be contributing those excerpts for this theme. You want a nice variety, hopefully, across participants. So that next step is for each theme to then go and select 3 to 5 great excerpts that really capture that theme. Okay. And in fact, in the integrated reliability piece, that's exactly what's being matched. you're looking at particular excerpts, you're saying, ah, that excerpt goes with that theme uniquely. That second excerpt, ah, that goes with that theme. So that's how well tied together they should be. And that is the second step here. Okay. The third step is just to kind of put things all together. All right. And now that I have themes uniquely tied to research questions, and I have a nice boiled down list of excerpts to go with each theme. By the way, I have cleaned up theme names, theme descriptions. Okay. The third step is really tying it all together. And how I like to see it myself is really here's research question one. Okay. Here is the theme one that goes with it. Okay. Here's theme one. Here's theme one's description. Here's the rationale why theme one goes with RQ1. And then here's my 3 to 5 supporting excerpts. Okay. Also under RQ1, I have my next theme. Okay. That theme description, that theme rationale, and then my 3 to 5, okay, supporting excerpts. And I guess I should have done this to kind of keep my example going here. This would be theme 2. This would be theme 3 in my example. Okay. In my example, this is 4. In my example, this is 5. Okay. So the layout of the discussion would look something like this. Research question 1, themes, description, rationales, excerpts for all of the themes related to RQ1. Ditto for RQ2, the themes related to RQ2, their descriptions, rationales, and excerpts. Okay. So to me, that's a good start of this thing. Okay. All right. I think we're just going to stop there for a second and take questions. Okay. Um, thank Isa. Okay, so let's see if there is questions here. Well,
There,
let's there's questions about what I presented, or you've shared your document. You've shared your document, and we can kind of talk about your particular project. So maybe we'll start with any questions about what I just went over.
there are a few questions in the Q&A.
Oh, in the queue.
There's a
Okay.
couple, and then in the chat, Samia asked, what does it mean to have a bigger color on the bar versus a narrow color? So if you go back to the bar chart too.
Yeah. So inside here, so this it's maroon colored here. This is one interviewee, participant number 16, and they've contributed 6 excerpts to that theme. Okay. So the different colors are the different participants. The number, okay, the number is the number of excerpts that participant contributed. So here for theme 1, among all these participants, they've contributed whatever, 62-ish examples. Here we have fewer participants and we have, let's say, 14, okay, 14 excerpts total. So the colors are the participants. The size of the color is the number of excerpts that are part of that that participant contributed to that particular theme. So again, here, this is participant number 3 contributed 5 excerpts to this theme called Navigating Diverse Learning Needs. Okay. Is there a rule of thumb for how many themes per code? Let me just think about that for a second. So um, it's really codes per theme. Um, so it's really the codes being collapsed. In other words, there are a number when you have too many themes. So yeah, I mean, I do have thoughts about that. So I don't necessarily have a um, I don't necessarily, let me go back to the transcripts tab. I don't necessarily have a whether it's one code going into that theme or several codes going into that theme. That's where that vetting's coming in. So I think that you need to really, that's where your expertise comes in to say, hey, you know what? That's a darn good code and it's a darn good theme, even though there's only one code supporting that. And hey, gosh, those excerpts really capture that too. So um, I think you could have one or many codes there. I do have thoughts about the number of themes. I mean, currently we limit it to 20. Of course, you can add more, but the AI thematizing, only allows 20. To me, I guess if I had to have more than that, I think I would start with maybe that is the place to have subordinate themes. So, and it's hard for me to wrap my brain around more than 20 themes. I guess really, obviously it's possible. In fact, I had 22 themes in my dissertation, but it felt very unruly. It was too, and I thought about the reader. Mine was slightly different because it was in different stages of some theoretical framework. So there were only five themes for this stage one and so many themes for stage two. But I think to try to have a reader really hold 20, 30 themes in their brain and walk away and say, okay, I get it. Those 30 themes really capture, it's kind of this it seems like it's too many, um, just from a practical standpoint. Okay. Um, okay. Is it allowed to present the plot in your dissertation or academic work to show? Yeah, Alfred, um, I use it purely for just to help me decide which themes to keep or not. It is not the greatest plot, frankly, when we submit this thing. Um, that is not great. I'd want a more granular x-axis. I mean, you can replicate this thing, and nothing's better than, charts in Word or PowerPoint. Word, PowerPoint, or Excel, same charts. So I'm not sure. I mean, it is pretty, but yeah, I if you had to do it, I would do it in Word. They put $2 million into it or whatever they put into it and cured it for 20 years. Um, you know, I just use this as a practical function rather than for my dissertation or project. Again, you can replicate it if you wanted to, but wouldn't be that hard to do. But anyway. Um, Are there studies comparing IQ with traditional qualitative studies or analyses? Um, Not sure exactly that question. So these things have been out there. IQ thematic analysis has been out there for a couple of years now, and published with that. So I don't know about the comparing to traditional analyses. Um, there's really that proof is in the pudding in your particular project, really. So I would invite you to, you know, if you have a study, go try it out. Anecdotally, there's about a 75% overlap of when I've worked with folks like that have done a thematic analysis already, like, oh yeah, those themes show up. So that's about the overlap. And most of the new stuff is really where the AI picked up stuff, but I don't have any definitive study comparison on that. The let's see how this goes with the discussion draft. So this is in process here. So we do have these aspects here. There's definitely changes that are going to be working here. So let's see what this looks like here. Okay, so that's going to take a second, but at least we got that going. And let's go back to the project. Let's see if anyone has shared a project with me.
And
Uh,
if you have shared a project, you can also raise your hand and we'll unmute
please.
you.
I don't see any. Okay. Go back here. Let's see how this is brewing. This is brewing. So it does have a summary. It does have limitations. It does have future research, but we are going to add theoretical and practical implications and putting some of this in context. So that's forthcoming. All right. Other thoughts, questions, comments? Okay. I guess I should get to here too. Um, so let me get to this. Some contact info. Um,
And there's a new question in the chat too, if you go to the bottom.
Thank you. So just for contact information, if you want a quick 15 minutes with me, you can scan that QR code. Also, we should make sure that code is still up, and I'm presuming that that's still working. Uh,
I'll put the link in the chat as well.
Fine. And then Samantha for students, Ashley for faculty, Melissa for general. We do have a new website, intellectus360.com. We should note that, which really have the tools in there. The Intellectus Lit Review tool, being able to draft up a lit review in under an hour. The Intellectus Statistics, which has the quantitative tool and discussion, and then the Intellectus Qualitative, which has the qualitative results chapter and discussion. Okay. I'm sorry, you said that new question was under the Q&A. Okay, got it. Could you quickly highlight the discussion draft that has been added? I'm trying. So, okay, so it does take a second. Let's just see if we refresh that. Scoot down here. Okay, so at the moment, here is an aspect of the discussion chapter or discussion chapter draft. So there's kind of an introduction here. I wanted to go through Lincoln and Guba's credibility, transferability, dependability, and confirmability. I don't think it goes there, frankly. I think it goes after putting the results in context, but nevertheless, it seems like you're going to want to have the conversation of that happening. We do have the findings here, okay? So this is considered draft material. It's AI driven, so you really need to go through every sentence with a fine-tooth comb. Limitations of the study. Okay. Recommendations for future research and conclusions. So you'll see this changing over the next, week or so. I'll say week. That there does need to be implications. It does need to be some double checking with what's out there that has been trained with other LLMs. So, but there you have something more that doesn't cost you a penny that was not there, yesterday. So hopefully that's useful for you. And I would love feedback on that too, by the way. Um, so for sure, for folks that are trying it, please send feedback to Melissa. Would be great. Um, what are the questions? What are the limitations of using AI tools for analysis? Well, one I just kind of mentioned. I mean, the um, for the AI, I mean, it really is it's based on training data sets. So, so that's one aspect to it. You know, it's AI, so it could be wrong. Okay. That's why you have to check these descriptions and these excerpts to go with it. So, I think that, well, I think the advantage is that it is speeding things up, but it's not making you a better writer, and it doesn't take away your effort to vet every aspect of it. So I really think that it's just an efficiency thing where it's not taking a year, as in my case, or 160 hours in other cases, that you have um, output that you can now evaluate. And I think that's the advantage that we're moving from generating all of these things and combining these things to evaluating, these excerpts really do go together and they do really create this theme, name, and description. Usually we say in our papers that we manage blah, blah, blah. So we do have a segment about how, Melissa, do we have a link to that of how we would cite this in the methodology? I could probably get to it.
Yeah, I can find that.
Okay. Yeah, I just don't know on the new website.
Well, and if you're just looking to cite the tool, that comes out with the reference at the bottom of your output.
Right. I read it as a description for the methodology. And we do have a little segment that you can edit that talks about AI in general and intellectus qualitative in particular. And that will come out in the okay. Nicole asked, what is the cost? Melissa, should I get to that? Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
Okay.
Nicole is asking about one-on-one assistance too. So if you're interested in that, you can go to schedule and we'll give you a quote. The cost of the tool, Ashley can reach out.
Fine.
Generally, it's $59 a month.
Is it that even for the qual? I thought it was more.
Yep, for the quals, 59.
Okay. Um, and then, but well, now I'm gonna go to it. So you can go to intellectus360.com. It's the word intellect US 360. You can go to pricing. Here's the three tools. And you can go to pricing. And for the statistics, $59. For the qualitative, $59. Okay. You could bundle these things together. You can get them semi-annually or annually. Huge, huge discounts for departments, which come with training, help with your own work, and it goes behind your single sign-on. We call it open access. So there's different things for individual users. There's and then for departments, and then there's also research services available as well. So hopefully we're filling the need of wherever you are in the process. You want to do it by yourself, you want to do it for your students, for your department, or you need other support. Melissa, do we have the courseware in here as well?
Yeah, it's going to be under the specific tool. So if you go
Under
to
the
the
tool.
quant, it'll be
So let's
under
just
that curriculum.
so let's
Yeah.
just go there.
And then on the top right, there's the
I'm
curriculum.
sorry. Thank you. So here for so we do have competency-based lessons. Okay. It's just that it goes behind your LMS. The different lessons to be had here. And you can fill out and get that. And Ashley can also get that to you if you'd like. Other thoughts, question, is there a tool associating quantitative and qualitative findings? Oh, you're speaking my language. There needs to be a triangulating of things. At the moment, I think I would just take the results of the quant, the results of the qual, and just throw them into an LLM to tell them to triangulate it. That needs to happen. And Melissa, that would be a great integration as well. So yes. Final thoughts, questions. Does anybody have a project that they loaded up here? I'll just double check here. Okay. All righty. So everyone will get the recording back here. Everyone will get the recording. Melissa, they have the tool throughout the day to play with.
Yes.
Okay, great. Contact information, phone, website, appropriate person to help you. And stay tuned for other webinars. We do definitely have one for DMPs. We definitely have one for quantitative on occasion. If you want schedule, I'll show you the lit review tool. Or if you know folks that are working with lit review or other quant or qual, please share this recording. So, all righty. So I think with that, I will say thanks everyone for your attention. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll see you next time. Okay. All right. Bye all.